Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtianygo here, and today I'm coming at you with my Salamangreat deck profile, updated post the legendary duelist set that we just got, Soulburning Volcano. We got some really cool new cards that I definitely want to go ahead and try out, and honestly, I think it just gives the deck that much more consistency and viability, and all the way around. I mean, Salamangreat is by far one of the craziest, most consistent decks probably ever made, because they all special summon each other out, and they're all extenders. It's ridiculous. And with the brand new cards that we just got, even more extenders and more cards to special summon each other out and get Gazelle, and then you go clean off from there, special summon each other, whatever, you're gonna get additional effects. Really cool stuff, guys. Honestly, I'm really excited for this. But before we get into the profile, guys, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and now let's get right into the profile. Alright, guys, I have here my updated Salamangreat deck profile. Actually, I don't think I actually did a previous Salamangreat deck profile before this. This is gonna be, I think, my very first one. Don't quote me on that one. I actually didn't check before I did this. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. Honestly, we got the new stuff in here, and I think it's, like I said before, is absolutely bananas. It's absolutely super crazy. But first things first, guys, we're gonna start off with 3 copies of Flame Buffalo. I really like it. It's a pot of greed, essentially. It's a pot of greed. If you send like a spinning or whatever from your hand to the graveyard, just additional plus from there. And like I said, you can always special summon whatever you're sending back, so it's really not that big of a cost. To me, I just see it as draw 2, so that's super free. No reason why not play it less than 3. 3 copies of the brand new Salamangreat of Fire, actually one of the best support that actually just came out. I think it's going to be absolute staple 3 of in all Salamangreat decks moving forward. If this card is normal or special summon, add any level 4 or lower Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand, except Salamangreat Fire, which is obviously super easy. You can also cannot special summon monsters for the rest of your turn, except fire monsters, which is actually not an issue whatsoever, because every single card that we play is a fire monster, except for Droll and Lockbird. But all of our extra deck is fire, all of our main deck is fire, so it's not a problem whatsoever. So really insanely good support there, guys. Really good. And then of course you just link it off, and then you go clean off from there. 3 copies of Spinny. As long as this card is not in the balance, we will go ahead and make sure we play this at 3. Free extender. Nothing really more else I need to say about that. Really good card. Next, the number 1 Gazelle. Is this card gonna get hit on the ban? Not hit on the ban list. Released on the ban list potentially. 2 copies of Foxy. Not 3. 2 copies of Jack Jaguar. 1 copy of the brand new Salamangreat Weasel. Actually, a really cool card. Phenomenal extender. You just need to have 2 or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard. Special summon this guy out for free. Lets you go into some synchro plays, and it can also still be used as additional material for link plays as well. So honestly, just really good overall. Has some additional effects that you draw special summon monsters to your opponent's side of the field, whatever it might be. But the main thing is that it's an additional extender, and it's a tuner, which lets you go into a really cool synchro play, which we'll show you guys in just a little bit as well. 1 copy of Salamangreat Falco, 3 Ash and 3 Droll. I think it's pretty much the standard 3 Ash, 3 Droll for any non-Fluandry / Cashier deck, because those decks pretty much need to main deck Dimension Shifter. But I think 3 Ash, of course, because branded is still a huge threat in the format. Also, it's the most generic hand trap. Also, it's a fire. Just a lot of synergistic stuff. Also, the tuner, which you can potentially use, but beside the point. And then you, of course, have your Droll and Lockbird, which I think is needed in not even this upcoming format, in the current format that we are in, guys. Droll and Lockbird is definitely going to be necessary. Hurts Vanadium, hurts the hurts Cashier slightly. Hurts the what's it called, Pirelli deck. It hits Dark World. It hits a lot of decks out there, guys, just to be able to go ahead and combat your opponent from making, or not combat, prevent your opponent from making, overextending and making a wild board that you won't be able to break. I think Droll and Lockbird is pretty much going to be a mandatory staple from now moving forward until something proves me wrong. For our spells, guys, 1 copy of the Salamangreat Sanctuary and 1 copy of Will of the Salamangreat. Really all you need. You search them when you need them. You got them. Cool. Move on from there. Next up, guys, 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talents. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to be going up against a lot of hand traps, and you have a lot of space for non-engine in this deck. A lot of it you're going to be using, I want to say, like a third of it you're going to be using for consistency purposes, with 3 copies of Signet Mining. Well, actually, Salamangreat Circle is not really like it's not a non-engine slot. It's definitely an engine slot, so you have like consistency. But for the rest of it, you do want to go ahead and prepare yourself for going second. That's why I want to go ahead and put in 2 triple tactics talents, no thrust necessary, because you just that gets us consistent enough as it is. And usually you're going to be activating triple tactics talents to go ahead and look at your opponent's hand to rip something from it, or to go ahead and just take something your opponent has that may be problematic and go ahead and continue about your business. 3 copies of Book of Moon and 3 copies of Book of Eclipse. This is kind of a wonky one, so I think Book of Moon is really good, of course, but there are some cards that just cannot be targeted, which is unfortunate. So that's why I want to go ahead and play Book of Eclipse as well, both at 3, just because I think going second into any matchup, these cards are going to be absolute blowout cards. Going up against branded, activate Book of Eclipse, book everything face down, you don't have to deal with anything. I think it's actually super clutch. Or going up against like a Cashtira board, which is still going to be one of the best decks format, or Pirelli, the 2 best decks. Book of Moon destroys the entire deck, but Pirelli does have the field spell, I believe, that can prevent their monsters from being targeted, which is inconvenient, and that's why we also have, again, Book of Eclipse. The only real out to it is going to be any type of spell trap negators or Ash Blossom, so it really just depends on if they are able to have the Ash Blossom in hand, which, again, is not easily searchable hand trap, unless you get it through like Small World, but it's like really, it's not worth grabbing. So I just think their chances of going second are better for you to see Book of Eclipse or Book of Moon rather than to then see the Ash Blossom. Just my personal opinion. I already went over the circle, guys. For the 2 traps you do play, 1 Roar, 1 Rage. Both these cards are absolutely ridiculous. I prefer Roar over Rage, but I mean, that's my personal preference. Some people like Rage or whatever it might be. This is pretty much going to be it for the main deck, guys. 40 card main deck, nothing too crazy. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but what we are trying to do, guys, is make sure that we are incorporating the right cards from the newest sets. And with it, we're going to start off with the Synchro Monster Salamangreat Burst Griffin. A really cool card. It has an immediate effect to let you special summon a monster from the graveyard and decrease its level, which means you can summon this guy out again by using itself as a material, guys. You get to go ahead and activate the effect during the next standby phase, special summoning 1 monster from your graveyard, any monster from your graveyard, which can come up super clutch in the event that you guys want to play something like the barrier statue builds with the Salamangreat charge. I think that'd be super clutch. I just think it's nice as you have like an additional card that's in your graveyard you just really want on the field for board presence. But again, I just want to go ahead and incorporate. I think it's really cool card. I think the recursion is nice as well. Also can be used as an additional link material, whatever it might be. So you can always find a use for this card. Next, 3 copies of Balinks, 3 copies of Sunlight Wolf, which is pretty self-explanatory. I really don't need to go too much into it there. 2 copies of the brand new Salamangreat Raging Phoenix, which can search you any Salamangreat card in your deck, super clutch. 2 copies of Heat Leo, 1 copy of Heat Soul, 1 copy of Flame Administrator. I did not know this card existed. Actually, I was trying to research the deck and see what's going on. I saw a profile run this card and I said, that is really good. It pretty much increases the attack of all your Link monsters by 800 attack. You can only control 1. It's a fire monster. It's a Cyberse monster. It takes 2 Cybers to make, so easily goes into this deck and increases all your Link monsters' attacks by 800, which means you now have a 3600 attack Raging Phoenix. You now have a 3100 attack Heat Leo, and it just goes on and on from there. So honestly, I think it's really cool. I'm trying it out right now. Honestly, I really like it. And then of course, the last card is 1 copy of the Mirage Stalio. In the event that you guys want to get crazy, you can definitely play a 42 card build and just slap these 2 in there, because realistically the deck, like I said, is consistent enough. Now if you are going to do this, you may want to run copies of either Power Prosperity or Portal Desires instead of Triple Tactics Talents, just to make sure you are able to get that additional draw, just to be safe. But you can definitely still play this card at 42, or if you want to take out 1 Flame Buffalo and 1 Jack Jaguar and slap these 2 in here, that's perfectly fine as well. But honestly, with the amount of fire support that just came out, I would not be running Barrier Statue right this very second. Or actually you might, because we don't know if they are top tier just yet. I do know Salamangreat just won a regional, I believe, so that's actually super crazy. If you guys want to check out that, deck profile, go ahead and leave it somewhere in the description down below. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.